Here are 3 science-backed tips for helping you sleep better at night. And one tip I bet you probably don't know because it's something that I learned that I've not seen talked about in the modern medical literature. Here's what they are. Number 1, get rid of all of your devices before you go to sleep for at least an hour. You've probably heard this, but what I mean by this is actually take your cell phone and put it somewhere away from you. Give yourself a whole hour free from looking at your cell phone before you go to sleep. Also, don't look at your laptop. Don't check email. Don't even watch shows on your laptop close to your face before you're going to bed. You're sending light into your eyes and you're telling your brain now is not the time to go to sleep. And then you're trying to turn off the lights and go to sleep. It doesn't work. So give yourself a full hour with no devices before you go to bed. That can mean talking, sitting, journaling, drawing, writing, reading, anything you want to do with pen and paper. Awesome. Candlelight is preferred. Try to not have the overhead lights on in your room for that hour either. So no overhead lights, no computer screens, no cell phone screens. Give yourself one full hour. Second thing, and this makes a lot of sense, but don't eat and don't drink too close to bedtime. The time frame is different for different people, but generally what I've heard is you want 2 to 3 hours without food and at least 1 full hour without water. The last thing you need is your body to want to use the restroom in the middle of the night. It can wake you up, and it can also prevent you from going to sleep because your stomach's uncomfortable because of something you ate. So I try to give myself about 3 hours with no food and 2 hours without water before I go to sleep. And then I drink water first thing when I get up in the morning. Give this a try. Really give your body a chance to digest your food before you're lying. Because when you're standing, it's a different process. You have gravity helping. When you're lying, you don't have that anymore. You're prone. So see what that works. This is a thing that can be tough for people, especially if you're a snacker, but really try to stick to it for a week and see if it improves your sleep. The third science-backed thing is to have sound playing in a repetitive way in your room. So I use a white noise machine that I got from Amazon. I think it was $15, but you want something that has some bass to it so that it blocks outdoor noise, especially if you live in a city and there are cars going by or ambulances. It's really important to have white noise playing. So you can start with just a fan or even a fan sound on your phone if you want. Again, I recommend against this. I would just spend the $15 and get an Amazon white noise machine. There's a couple you can look up. They have different sounds, so you can find one you like and sleep with that same sound every single night. The other thing that I started doing, and especially if I'm not sleeping well for a period, I'll make sure that I do this, and I always do it when I travel, is to bring Heroes. They're these little foam ear things you can put into your ears. A lot of construction workers use them. There's a pink one. And I find they're really soft and you can actually get them in your ear. They'll help block out sound. The reason for this is actually as your body warms up in the morning, you're more likely to wake up if you can hear disturbances and sounds. And that time period is pretty early for most of us. It's usually about 2 hours before you actually want to wake up. So if you find yourself either not going to sleep because you have roommates or neighbors making noise, or if you find yourself in the mornings waking up earlier than you'd want and being confused as to why, there's a good chance it's because an ambulance drove by, or you heard your neighbor's alarm clock go off and it set off your nervous system. So use a white noise machine and put earplugs in, especially if you have a partner. The earplugs can make a huge difference for helping you sleep during their restlessness. This is my magic tip. Here's the 4th tip. This is something that I've never read anywhere else before, and I've seen it make a huge difference not only in my life, but in the lives of people I've taught it to. Simple. When you're lying in bed, envision yourself sleeping. You don't need to try and clear out all of your thoughts. Actually close your eyes and breathe the way you would imagine yourself sleeping. Okay? Imagine your body being still the way it would be when you're sleeping. Just fully imagine yourself asleep. I rarely am awake for more than 3 minutes after I lie down. And I'm talking at most once a month, probably more like 3 to 4 times a year. It almost never happens. And the trick I found is that if my mind is still a little active or my body is a little bit restless, I'll use that tip. I'll use that last tip. I'll imagine that I'm asleep. And in doing so, I think I'm actually tricking my body into being asleep. It's almost like using your willpower, but it's not forceful. Because when you try to force yourself to go to sleep, it doesn't work, right? You've probably lain in bed at night before wondering, why can't I fall asleep? Why can't I fall asleep? We all have. And when you're in that space, usually you try to force it. But sleep is not a forceful thing. It's one of the most gentle things. So if you close your eyes and you actually fully embody a sleeping person, you'll find out that you're asleep pretty soon. That's my bet for you. Please, as always, let me know if these work. Give me some comments. Try them. Give it a full week for each one that you try to, because it can take your body a little time to adjust. But try them and let me know in the comments if this is working for you. And as always, please let me know if you're struggling with anything, things I can help with. I'll try to keep sharing the knowledge and the questions that people ask for me and the things that I'm studying and learning about for myself too. Have a wonderful week. Bye.